New York, the world capital of power and style. And at its heart, a museum with secrets dark and strange. A nude statue linked to murder, the mysterious power of an Egyptian temple. A suit of armor that sheds new light on the bloodlust of Henry VIII. Secrets hidden in plain sight inside the Metropolitan Museum.
Hi, I'm Gary Lang. I'm the director of the Museum Secrets Metropolitan Museum of New York episode.
At the center of this skylit sculpture court stands Diana. Many statues depict a naked human form, but in this case, nudity matters. A drug-addicted millionaire playboy and a lascivious upper-crust architect were both entangled in a love triangle with America's most famous beauty. And all had a fateful connection to the bronze statue of Diana, ancient goddess of the hunt.
I always think of this story as the story when the 20th century was born. I get this idea of the 19th century, New York in its Gilded Age, everyone all buttoned down, and suddenly one day they wake up and there's this big nude woman, the highest thing in their city, and they don't know what to do. Within 5 years, the man who put her there is revealed to have a series of love nests all over the city, which he shares with other men in New York society, to which they invite very young girls. Because of this trial, that becomes world news. It's coming out in the trial testimony. Sex is revealed. Drugs are involved. The husband of this woman, it said, invented the speedball. He was likely high when he pulled the trigger. This idea of the tabloid culture was born out of this story. This new understanding of sex, culture, secrets, the fact that things were going on behind closed doors that people didn't know. It all came out over this crime of the century. When we were making it, we decided to try and do a very contemporary storytelling. So we created a graphic to make it feel like, oh yeah, okay, I get it. This is more like OJ.
Barry Levine is the executive editor of the National Enquirer.
I think this is the type of story, if this had occurred today, this would wipe Brad and Angelina and the Tom Cruise type stories, off the map.
We also interviewed the great-granddaughter of the architect.
So even though she was so young, becoming his mistress wasn't like we would see it today as practically a case of pedophilia.
The other thing we did with this story, because it was so uniquely visual, was just a hint of reenactment. It sort of like helped take us back in time to imagine how this incredible love triangle unfolded. And we did it in a studio here in Toronto. I wanted to create this feeling as if Diana looked down on the man who created her, lying in a pool of his own blood. I wanted to pull past this sculpture and see the ground and then match it in some kind of animation that would show Diana as she stood on top of the building, actually looking down on the terrace where Harry Thaw shot Stanford White. It's just a nice way to connect this statue with this story and to remind people as they look at something sterile as a museum that once this is public art that played a central role and did in fact look down on a violent crime in downtown New York at the turn of the century. It's an amazing thing.
For every mystery science reveals, far more remain unspoken. Secrets of the past and of the human heart, hidden in plain sight at the Metropolitan Museum.